A community is grieving after a 16-year-old Fort Washington student was gunned over the weekend. Good evening. This is CTV News for this Tuesday, January 22nd. I'm Patricia Vallone. Thank you for joining us. Well, Prince George's police are investigating the fatal shooting of a 16-year-old boy in Fort Washington. The victim is identified as Marcus Jones. Police found Jones suffering from a gunshot in the 7700 block of Webster Lane about midnight on Sunday. A preliminary investigation reveals that Jones was shot by an unknown suspect while walking to his car. He was taken to a local hospital where he later died. Jones was a sophomore at Friendly High School, and today students remembered him as a popular kid who got along with everyone.
He was hilarious, funny.
Just cool,
yeah.
Good advice giver.
And this is coming from somebody that didn't even know him like that. Like, I only saw him in the hallway.
He was the coolest person. Like, he had respect for everybody. My birthday in 2 days, so it's just messing up my whole week.
Meanwhile, as school let out this afternoon, some parents waited anxiously for their kids. This mother tells us she is nervous about her child's safety.
I have a daughter that goes here, and this is her last year in Friendly High School, and all 4 of her years has been good. Now, as a Friendly student, when I was in high school, it was never like this, so I don't know what's going on with the kids' minds, but I hope they can cope and get together, you know, live as a teenager, not as far as gun violence, though.
And Prince George's police will hold a community meeting to discuss Jones's murder. That will happen tomorrow night, January 23rd at 7 p.m. at Friendly High School. It's located at 10,000 Allentown Road in Fort Washington. Meanwhile, as you can imagine, this is a tough day for Jones's classmates. The school system brought in grief counselors to Friendly High School today to help students.
Anytime we lose a young person, it's very difficult for the students because it's unfortunate that students have to see kids their age being taken away from them. Students, of course, form relationships and bonds with students, and it's a very scary time for them. And also for staff, because staff form relationships. Students become, as a former teacher, students become part of our family, and we really form bonds and relationships with students. And so while we ask teachers to be strong for kids, they also need outlets to talk about their feelings.
This is the third Prince George's public school student to die as a result of a violent crime this school year. 17-year-old Flowers High School student Amber Stanley died last August. An 18-year-old Central High School student Markel Ross died in September. All 3 murders remain unsolved. Well, how safe are schools in Maryland? It's a question many parents think about every day, especially since the Newtown shooting massacre last month. State Superintendent Dr. Lillian Lowry addressed the issue at a Maryland Board of Education meeting this morning in Baltimore. Lowry says Governor Martin O'Malley's office is working with law enforcement along with health officials to expand on current plans that are already in place and come up with new solutions, including creating a child safety center.
Law enforcement, because again, while the governor certainly wants our schools to be safe and secure, no doubt about it, I know I certainly do, there are other places. I mean, we've had fatalities at movie theaters, at shopping malls, at religious places of worship. So that center is going to be there to actually work collectively across the state with all stakeholders for public safety in general. And we will be talking to people about best practices. We will be talking to people about mental health and hygiene. So parents need to know that, number one, the governor has put $25 million in the budget to actually strengthen those school districts where they need strength, because we do have some models out there of school districts that are doing amazing work, but to also look at ways that we can enhance facilities. And that was something.
Lowry says it's too early to say where and when the new Child Safety Center will open. Well, meanwhile, the director of security for Prince George's Schools spoke about additional measures they plan to put into place, and Denise Douglas is joining us now with the details on that.
Yeah, Patty, I think it's fair to say that not only parents, but pretty much everybody in the community, communities everywhere, have been concerned about school safety since what happened in Connecticut. And so they're clearly glad to see that the director of security for Prince George's County School District, Michael Blow, as well as police officials, spoke with the county council about current security measures. For example, example, people are ID'd and have to follow other steps as when they are visitors in school buildings. But the big question is, what else can be done to keep kids safe? That's the question the school districts are trying to answer since the Newtown, Connecticut tragedy. 20 children and 6 adults were killed by Adam Lanza when he went on a shooting spree inside Sandy Hook Elementary. In talking with the council today, Blow explained the additional steps they plan to take in Prince George's to beef up security.
We're going to look at equipment, training, the assignment of personnel, enhancing our relationships with the police department. We're very fortunate that we have an excellent working relationship with the county police and the local municipal agencies that serve Prince George's County. So we're all looking collaboratively at ways that we can enhance those partnerships, equipment that's out there. We're talking to people across the country just to see who's doing what and what types of things are appropriate for the Prince George's County school system.
So clearly a collaborative effort here and throughout the country also, everyone kind of working in tandem to try to do what they can. Sandy Hook was the second deadliest school shooting in the U.S. history after Virginia Tech, which happened in 2007.
And there was another shooting today in Texas, and obviously the news is still coming in about that one as well. So obviously a very timely story here.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Thank you, Denise. Well, the percentage of students at public high schools who graduate on time has reached its highest level in 40 years. According to the National Center for Education, 78% of students across the country earned a diploma within 4 years of starting high school. Students in Maryland and Virginia had higher graduation rates than the national average at 82.2% and 81.1% respectively. Meanwhile, the district had one of the lowest rankings at 9.9%.